quite a while. And so we took note that somebody filed a case before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is yet to pronounce on that issue. But if you read what the faith-based organizations agreed in their own MOU, I don't see any point of dispute. They all accept that if there's a mission school, it has its, faith orientation. But within that faith orientation, there must be recognition of diversity. It's right there in the MOU. So I don't want to suggest it, but I think the Supreme Court has its work cut out for it, because the same people have signed an MOU, and so I don't see what the contention there is. And there's even a place that talks about fasting, because Christians fast, Muslims fast. You can find a Christian student in a Muslim school or a Muslim student in a Christian school. And it talks about whether they should be allowed to fast. And it says that yes, the student can fast if the parents inform the school that they want their ward to fast. And if there's any health consequences from the fasting, the responsibility shall be that of the parent and not the school. I mean, that's clear enough. All of us are concerned about the proliferation of conflicts across our country. There's a rising intolerance, you find, and it's resulting as a result of disagreements, first and foremost to do with chieftaincy. You find a traditional area that has been at peace for so many years, and a ruler who has been on the stool for decades. And then as soon as he dies, there is a competition, and suddenly a chieftaincy dispute arises, and lack of tolerance and misunderstanding. Sometimes it breaks out into violence. It is putting a lot of pressure on our security services. A lot of our security services are tied down in conflict areas. I mean, Sampa, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Nkwanta, we have a whole contingent there. You go to Boko, we have a whole contingent there. Recently, Savannah, we had a whole contingent there. We've not withdrawn them yet. And yet there are so many of these, all over the country. They have to do with ethnic disputes, have to do with land disputes. And it's become a major headache for government. But we live in a sub-region, and so people say we're an oasis of peace in a turbulent sub-region. And there are two new developments. One is the penchant for coup d'etats, and you saw what happened in Benin recently and Guinea-Bissau. And so it's something that the regional body, has to look at. Happily, we have an ECOWAS meeting coming up on the 14th, so I'm sure that that is going to be a major point of this discussion. But like I've always said, for those of us who practice democratic governance, we must let our people have faith that democratic governments can deliver the kind of opportunity and development that they are looking for. It's when they lose faith, and that was beginning to happen, in the run-up to the campaign of last year. You could see a certain cynicism where young people said, look, even this voting is useless. I go and vote every 4 years and I don't see what difference it makes into our lives. And so one of my major campaign messages was that, look, we have a last opportunity to keep the faith and trust of our people in the political elite. Otherwise, Ghana is not immune to coup d'etats. And so that is why this government is doing its best to make sure that we regain the trust of the people, one, by being accountable ourselves, and two, by holding persons who have held office and abused the public trust to account. I don't enjoy prosecuting people, but I mean, the people of Ghana will not forgive us if people develop impunity in terms of abusing the trust that people have put in them. And so that's why we're resourcing the Economic and Organized Crime Office and the other anti-corruption institutions, including the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And recently, there have been some controversy with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think it's premature to call for the closure of that office. The unique thing about that office is It is the only anti-corruption agency that has prosecutorial powers to be able to prosecute themselves without going through the Attorney General. And so people had mistrust with the Attorney General because the Attorney General normally is a member of government and is a minister of state. And so they believe that the Attorney General will be very reluctant to prosecute his own. But if there's an independent office like the Office of the Special Prosecutor, it won't matter who you are, because they have security of tenure and they have prosecutorial powers, whether you're a member of government or you're a member of a previous government or you are anybody who has, misappropriated public funds, they have the law is behind them to be able to prosecute you. So I think we should give them a little time. Of course, people want to see, more prosecutions and more results. And so I'll just urge the OSP to speed up, some of these investigations and, show people that the office is still very relevant. And they met me 2 weeks ago and gave me a presentation of some of the findings they were going to make. Yeah, quite interesting. I was sworn to silence. And they intend to present the final report on the 22nd of December. And so once the final report is presented, we would, make it known to the rest of the nation. And so I should hold my peace. I don't want to be like my daughter, who I reached an agreement with her not to let her mother know something. And then her mother came and we were sitting and she said, Friday said, Daddy, I want to tell Mommy. I said, oh, but we agreed that you won't tell Mommy. I said, that is not me, it's my mouth. My mouth is saying that I should tell. And so my mouth is telling me to tell, but I'll hold my peace till 22nd. When I receive the report, I'm sure we'll publish it and everybody will get to know. I think they've done a fairly good job. Some of the, amendments seem quite radical, but I do think that the justification behind them would make Ghanaians understand the need for us to do what we have to do. And so when I met him, he confirmed that, yes, he had been asked to mediate in the conflict. And so we said, okay, we'll give opportunity for that mediation to take place. So we've been managing the crisis, sporadic killings here and there, waiting for the outcome of the mediation process. Happily, the Otumfuo has signaled to me that on the 16th, he would come here to the presidency. I'll invite you, the National Peace Council. I invite the Executive Committee of the House of Chiefs, and then other, recognized bodies, religious leaders, and we will receive the mediation report together. And consequently, whatever actions need to be taken to implement the report, we would all, know exactly what we're going to do.
Today offers a moment of renewal and a call to action. And it is the first meeting of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization since this government took office, so it's very important for us. The meeting enables us to reaffirm our commitment to placing decentralization at the heart of development and accountable governance in line with our Constitution. I am pleased to know that today's meeting includes an orientation session. This is designed to give all of us, especially our ministers, a clear understanding of the National Decentralization Policy Framework and Strategy, the workings of the IMCC, and the key decentralization reform agenda, and as well the strategic approaches we will employ to implement them effectively. For nearly 4 decades, Ghana has made deliberate efforts to strengthen our local governance system. The establishment of the IMCC in 2010 was a way to recognize that a single ministry cannot achieve decentralization. This requires a wider approach anchored on coordinated and sustained leadership from all the sectors whose mandates interface with local development and service delivery. The IMCC remains a national institutional mechanism for intersectoral policy coordination and for the decentralized local governance system. We have learned that this committee met regularly, or in the past when it met regularly, we made significant progress. Indeed, between 2010 and 2016, the IMCC successfully resolved some of the most difficult reform challenges, including decisions that had remained unimplemented even since 1989. So we can appreciate the significance and the importance of this committee. Despite these accomplishments, important parts of the agenda are still incomplete. These gaps keep affecting service delivery and weakening public trust in the local governance. Most importantly, two key main development sectors, health and education, are yet to be decentralized. The current setup maintains parallel authority structures, dual reporting lines, and fragmented accountability. These bottlenecks affect responsiveness, supervision, planning, and coordination. We must therefore treat the completion of administrative and functional devolution in health and education, and of course the road sectors too, as a national priority. The credibility of the decentralization program depends on delivering results in these key sectors, and I am confident that the ministers concerned will work particularly closely with the IMCC Secretariat to accelerate these reforms. We cannot deepen local governance and local democracy or improve service delivery if these three large social sectors remain structurally centralized. I'm pleased to note that the formulation of the National Decentralization Policy and Strategy 2026 to 2030 has been completed and will be presented to this committee today. The new policy and strategy document provides a coherent roadmap across 6 thematic areas, which are 1, political decentralization, 2, administrative decentralization, 3, decentralized planning, 4, fiscal decentralization, 5, local economic development, and 6, popular participation and accountability. And as we know, the policy and strategy will not implement themselves. Successful implementation requires collective ownership, strong political backing, technical commitment, full sectoral alignment, and effective coordination. Every ministry represented here has a critical role to play alongside the IMCC. The role of the Ministry of Finance is to ensure predictable fiscal transfers, sectoral alignment, and strengthen local revenue systems, as well as sufficient resources for operations and the implementation of the policy and strategy. The Ministry of Health and Education and Roads are to complete functional devolution and deepen collaboration with district assemblies. Agriculture, gender, youth, local government must ensure cross-cutting priorities are integrated into local planning and service delivery. The NDPC, the civil service, the local government service must harmonize standards, planning systems, staffing structures, and accountability mechanisms. And the Attorney General must facilitate the drafting of the legislation required for implementation. This meeting provides the ideal platform for us to recommit to these responsibilities with sharpened focus. With all respect, I call on ministries, departments, and agencies to champion the implementation of the decentralization reforms by prioritizing activities within their mandates as outlined in the NDPS. Let us acknowledge that the future and effective and responsive service delivery directly meets the aspirations of our citizens, and indeed that the future of local governance and development in Ghana will largely depend on the decisions we make today and the decisions to which we commit. Also, our approach is essential for attracting any support. The clear, coordinated governance stance boosts confidence and encourages investment in our reform agenda. Colleagues, please let us use this meeting to build consensus, energize the reform process, and set the tone for the successful implementation of the national decentralization policy and strategy. I want to thank all of you for your time, for your commitment, and I look forward, I'm sure, like all of us, to the fruits of these deliberations. Thank you very much.
Live on TV, SYZ, and also on Power 97.9 from the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana inside politics. Near the free city, our 37 Abebresin Street, out of Accra, Usu, editorial in all the same regions across the country. Support from the 900 million angels and the Techi Edijumedi, Yede, Brewo, Yoko Washington Regional Capital, Takrade, Sharp 106.9 FM, Ziama, Lembele, West and 100.3 FM, Hafu Regional Capital, goes to Nananum 92.5 FM station with ambition. Sansuna Dunu FM Ewo Sankore Yakobuno region Tiny 90.9 FM Soko Nsuma FM Nkran Kwanta Yako a year bowling in the Savannah region Kiligi FM Ekramuho Wa WFM Yako a year Boko source 100.1 FM Ewo Upper East region Zeps FM was Zabila and a Pusiga a wing pan Sampa one day FM everyone Yako a year Central Regional Capital a year Cape Coast Adon Sound Scrum Ewo Kotokraba Markets Ansuna Rich FM and so Ewo Asin Fusu Futa Regional Capital who a Global 105.1 FM Sansu and Ibuwem Ewo Uti Region 3 radio stations and FM live. You must say 10.7 FM Oketekraje, KFM Opasa and a Boom FM so Ewo GRC can landing your GFM radio and a Fire Life radio. Yoko America Memo 68 FM in Sukremo Ewo Virginia Kwakusket and in Timino. Facebook Live Power 979 and a TV SYZ Ghana Sansin on YouTube. SYZ broadcasting and Sama Yade Ebro and Ewe Accra High Court Aqua Setana Sisia make us say I said that the number na ye was a kabasu watching no court to say or the tabon atoso. Ne mono ni body so no mono enya de say a transition home. I was mo release body no e de ma e ebusuafo ensema ebobo eba ne ne court kai na no ye de wonsem e de ebro Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, akopiem ewo Kenya. Ni nyina tie say Kenya for wo mo edi enfima akoma ko edusia mienu 62nd Independence Day ewo eye Kenya PM ewo Nairobi woman krokese owa eho aye kama ensemben ena His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ede atudwa IGP ensemben wodi atudwa efa brunya ebe hu nsem nyina ewo ha yede ebrewo Transport Minister ono ulmanfo na Abubakari ono so ensemben wodi atu roads and highways for enim hu nsem ewo ha ebobo eba yede ni nyina so ede ebrewo ene ewo TVS was et na power 97.9 FM channel so say 12 year December 2025 na me adma wochina ye nyina ye bo awem ewo ni dwabe hinkru kese eye koforudia onimonyamfo ya no he bambo so eye asujafui wotawo mu achi na eye defense anachese we defend ye pa doctor o mane bo ama wanya ni ba bi kro no nyame ya adma ochina na busua besi nkonya no ma ye na yi ewo eye koforudia ehon so nsem ha ye de ni nyina ede ebewo Mugabe Maase ni mi din obetimi aframi atanko ne gabi gade kapa city man ensem nyina no ye de brewa na ye fa aseda kese ye fa ma Divine Hope Herbal Center madawruma wo me de wotwa ye ba powder de aba idwaso power specialist about hospital ma me edu ya asem kan kire se bra na so na so beje ayarisa Hebron Hills International School say excel and shine fa ba ne bra no nya tete ye pass de bi adache na bra bo ebetimi esini es natural mineral water so papa kroje enu ani didi brunye bra 37 na BBC Street ewa Accra usua dudu bi apebia Mr Robert webo amwenya me come show bi obi wembia ene enu anse wo tata so na wodi kofi Medimosis aso ye ayaresa ho na betimi age no Safari Valley Eco Resort bunya ebei wasi reservation on bookings ni yatum said be aso betimi na abusuafo nyina akọ na makwa akọ chile Victory Garlic Myself Dr. Amwako osebra said be ya eniyama betimi akoye edi ama oni mmiri papa yi Victory pibinom na etumi enyina no na so Tema Development Corporation omoso ka ho bi ene edi dwumadi edi ebrewo ye na ehu simeti ewamu na afei minyebre na 900 million angels no mu support no omo fama me na me fan sempani na emfa shase emfa ema Kwaba Eriba TVS was Tana Power 97.9 FM. Ye shase na chese ye shase efri eye ensem papa ni good news wa ahasia ebobo eba na meda sorry ye be enene nefua miensani adam who say root fund ye yi mrantia umu inimu adwuma na board no motumi ada board na di onimonyamfo aje mensa ni din ewum na hu eyekobi balo din ewum na hu se sa mranti mu bitimi abo adwuma yi papa na wo hwe eye rules and highways aso ye ho a na chese wutimi se opanyin ya ye friend se atachi opanyin atachi nso oye contractor udini wo yi papa ya chese wutimi se ope contractors ya wo mu credibility no ewo suru ya enya ade se bitimi yi papa yi din afrimu kobi balo nso de eni anu no manso no pe woni metwe manso mu ade papa nanso baby ade mu makoso mu kobo adwuma road fund ho no wo mu be excel nesesi a mekasei eye sector minister onmonyamfo kwa me agoja sebe papa ni adwuma efe no na wasanya fantastic eye team ye o mu beta na chi sebe be ya contractors omo ye yakwan no beda so kama de amayen na chese obi beka se so far so good me hu ko bi balo di manam say Allahu akbar me hu opanya atachi di Allahu akbar me hu me afu aje message say hey team papa ni we have the men and that time so bebo adwuma na okoni nyinemu a eye sector minister of roads and eye highways onumunyamfo kwa me abuja governance enye mo wa so fi London ne bae abrate ne bo adwuma ma adwuma ye fedodo wo bo adwuma ma adwuma na kasankasa esu sa de na wo bo adwuma sa ti enei se enema tinya totom na contractors awodu aban wi omo krata ma hu se enema edemu fan ye ha se betu omo kadia na chese atagi ate den de bru bi mu bedi ni yi na mo ye ha krata mu ya ne hu se odwuma dia wudi ene ensem fata se wo se abetu a ka ban tua ye say if it must be done well wo se juma de sha wo sa no wo ye juma na kama na se wo nwie nso a eja wo gusu a wo hwe se obesiesie na wo wi a wo de certificate aba na aban adu aka aban we e ya aban a wo abadaye o adwepa e de ma e the good people of this country tinei wo ko wo sector ho a eni ja ha se e den eba and oko trans me free rules na me de buanya ebe beside wura ministry of transporter we do free roads and highways no na me dey see ministry of transport na ho so correct buanya ebe I will say sometimes me tias you say me say obi ho a okasa na se otia ya your boss hankofo no abaso wo listening yes you were listening president otie ni anya ni ministers appointees so e kasa wo mutie about 2 weeks ago na mapo adwuma me kofi na se wo nipa e boba ye 630 woko na wo mu gira kwa me kroma circle efi Viana City ho eba betwam bedu kwa me kroma circle wo do rice wo ba se oba bi motontonfo nipa na ba pe so saa peka akofie omo ko amasaman omo ko medie omo ko nsanwom omo ko dodowa omo so obedu basopo na kasi ka bia ni wona nipa na ba pe so. I say let me suggest this to the minister. My friend no far phone and say, I mean Christmas is just around the corner. Bibi ho honorable, you be me here to ease that traffic, you know, a man for pleka ho enumre wa pon a wosi okofie no kodi ne yire abiane. Obedu fie ne fufu ya sei. Enembrati o manya 25-30 bo hu anefu aye kakraka. Na so nya yare ni wum e ya na judidie na di abasa. Mika papa say muga e ma kasa nya tete. Itu anamo bi sa na nche obetemenka. E na ye da sore ya. Esa ebo no nan pa ho sema biasa ekwa wapo adwuma wokofie no. Mia bia bi te se eye Madina Adenta Kasoa Amasaman sa akwantempona ame amafo bransa na omunya ka akofie no aban no ayen hyehyeye a wode basis aba ebebe boa se de bia betimi aboa matemamufo no omopon wadwuma etumi de omakoyie ye certificate one ansa ne akotu me share that news no be ka chen se na anopa nso ebe yeden ana se anwumra ba anopa so be yeden ebeba but we eye aban a ye kasa wo muti sa so brachefo aban na wo mukofie ma was president kofo dine ene ne twetwe komo last weekend na nsema okekan otu omofo omfa ahomaso akakabensam ye pega ya beti ye ne wa power ye ne ye wei enei we had the aba betu dwa ya na chese efekeke iti appointees no koso nya sa transport minister fantastic minister wo juma papa Rose minister fantastic lands and natural resources me boss honorable Kofi Bua excellent George Napo excellent honorable Akando excellent woko agric minister honorable Erikopoko excellent ya mame honorable Elizabeth Ajare Obatampa honorable Elizabeth Ajare fantastic wo juma excellent investors ya watu omode wo moba o man we mu ya mame honorable Elizabeth Ajare I was see a bomb and ya basso. Muya Juma ne Fredodo. Go to gold board. No could Juma Sami Jeffrey airborne gold board. Sami Jeffrey in the team. The deputy CEO, Lawyer Richard, maybe I will be a jackass and command. Kwame Nka. Woko see the Kwame Kanin in Zenab. Any team no more Juma Bambofo. A soldier for post for NID4 a juma omo bo e wo gold board hono fantastic na sami ja finya misha woni deputy na Richard ja misha mo mukoso mo adwuma saa udu Bank of Ghana odumonyanfo Dr. Esiama Johnson Esiama adwuma wo bon enye adwuma ketwa udu finance ato forcing doctor adwuma wo bon enye adwuma ketwa foreign affairs odumonyanfo kujutu wokotwa MD capacity MD ya your friend say a young lawyer Edmond Combat capacity board a year chairman a year honorable Billy Joe hey adwuma na moya ma adwuma na ye fresi moya adwuma ma adwuma ya fra keke kɔhwɛ MC ya ɔwɔ ɛyɛ amasamai ɔna nwada no nenam ɛhwɛ kwaya deda trejanse ɛkɔ kotoku ne ade wa hase a wɔde grade nam kwan so wɔsese kwan so nyinaa sɛ de bɛya bronya betimamfo bedi yi the appointees no so far so good menti ate kaboni bia sa appointee bia akwa boni bi appointee bi de sa akwa bosikam appointee bi eje kickback so far so good udu kana water yenua wakilu adwuma brata no ebo ewo ho onabo kanajei water resources works and housing adwuma papai ebo any water sector no yenua musa wakilu obanyi wakilu nyamishraw wadwuma wo bone efa keke enya mama se ajada mango this year go jani this year mo bo adwuma ma no ye fa dodo na mokoso saa nti support wa roads and highways yeni apanyi eye Frank modi mama boss ono abokwa me agboja team no ya mo wo ho no mo fa mo support mo kom koto dwane mo bom empire ma yenia ono abokwa me agboja Gavins adwene papa woni team no man ni tumpo ne ko yenim yenya GP papa ya IGP ene eye CDS o ma sure gani ese sabronya ebei ahoyie ene capital city wan yo baby a ho be se emiama betime eden ebetimi akoyie na we no o mu ye show of force exercise kakra enra ye hwe de course ho show of force kakra exercise kakra o mu ye no mu ye hwe de ye den e course
that we are conducting today is really good for us to prepare the ground and also to give assurance to Ghanaians that we are ready to protect them throughout this Christmas and beyond. Also to send a strong warning to the criminals, wherever they are, that we will go all out and make sure that it will be very uncomfortable for them to operate during this period of time.
As we approach the Xmas season, this is the time that we need to up our game more than ever. We want you to maintain a very deterring posture, be on the alert, and stand by for any eventuality. Under the Big Push initiative, His Excellency, the President in the Republic of Ghana, has assured that the security services will have a very significant chunk of that project.
Very well. Nacha said your course so ote IGP Udemonya for Kisi Entete Yohuno any CDS Omo Enka and no day no this media course live on TV SYZ and also on Power 97.9 FM. Now Mamisu Jaka Kremu the useless ones are more a minority side of Mrasibejefi. Mama MPD kura nyako no bim. Na wo hwenia ekoso se yentra se budget ya Urumunyanfo eye Dr. Atufo se present here recently wo parliament no yemobo ho na ye hwe ne betumi afaso a enema the various ministries ne sectors no ubia ansa beka de wo se ne saka na ya approve budget ne mo ansa na afia kwawie se de be ya ye started on the in January 2026 ya enema betumi ayede akoyie na ya anumfo se ye ba betra se ye bebo ama ye government business ayede akoso de empene ye ba betra woni ya yididi nyasa biani na dede no so mo be ya saa but say me sending this warning to them omutie ni say abura na 137 no NDC for enam say adwe papa ye den ewo mutiri no wo mutumi tolerate mu nonsense ni nyina ema na Kufuado enya ni we etumi ede na memoni ye den aba awie eba awie obi a attack no obia anye hwe said de be ya amemu na ban no ebese but me person me kan ema the useless minority me sa no me frɛ omu su ni faso wo pom kwotena fi government business be den ebekoso the useless minority ya afanya markets di omu enimu no efie nya sankasa abo omu te se de odwonso aba akoko and the minim de we omu leader wo ECOWAS aso ye suma ho na wadu ho such a useless caricature no friend ho so ye lawyer wotemra ya onim de wasa e wode mra ya wo hu akwai obefa so a wode mra ebe ye adwuma na ye entertain sa nonsense we nyina e parliament asa be na bia ni Ghana ha obetimi akasa ani entertain sa useless one see it is something useless one minority useless a micro minority fu ani mu dey sanfon e wo mra se bedwafie na dia omu yi sa wo obabi a wanya 4 years 5 years na so free school aba enumre na OTTV ho no ohwe TV ni bi sa say dia no omu ya no term na tiem na mutie yo term na nya Muhammad na bekwa akọ pressure ono ope wono wodi ka akasa term na wonko ba ye mu bi ya be force na manako tie ni ye said ya mamu we ekoyie se Mugabe Maase on quarter term na ye mu bi ye timamfo a wo Ghana ha no said ya quarter fie ya ye ne akasa ye de ya satu ye se sakopo Mugabe pesa o samba obeje Ghana fo efiri ba bia na ye da na economy na tetia pansam na my Ghana inflation ni GDP ba bia na nenam na ne yetina record senior digit inflation in 11 months aba eto aba ewiye na eda so ekoye nim na GDP niama de daye na investor confidence no suno utimo so ejirane na so a na my no ye din ayo was now turn 9,600 Ghana no 96 million no and na 7,100 a year bande wire na what no a year 100 Ghana no and 45 Ghana cedis and na do nails ya now to one box 100 Ghana no and 45 Ghana cedis and more boaba from and one boaba from come market na kwa ade sardine anything apade ka nyina ne boaba from wo say amamo we won pe na mb before no sabe se eja ensuo toye mo atena na adwa ade acha na badma hu se ensuo ato mo hu se ensuo ato ade mo fi se Ghana fo ye wi afi ye panyin na bio ye ji yin na bio ye nya bibia bia na na de bibia mo nya yin na bio mo tumi bi ye dai Mugabe ba yi wo twam kwabi na bi ko na so o man ne ye dai ekoso ba na mutie ni ye constitution ni pa na twere ye John the man in the ono the about to the president the about to say ono no on quarter term but enye ono ne pay na Ghana for ye betie